I'm Ryan Merrill, and this is your St. Augustine High School returning graduate panel. Today we have 8 returning seniors from the class of 2012 who are here to answer questions about college for you. First, introduce yourself, your name, your college, and your major if you have decided a major yet.
I'm Nick Sullivan, and I go to Gonzaga, and my majors are accounting and criminal justice.
My name is Ryan Garfalo, I go to UCLA, and I'm sociology major.
I'm Irish Garon. I go to Loyola Marymount University, and I'm a major in theater arts and a minor in business.
My name is Mason Brown. I go to Whittier College, and I'm a business marketing major.
My name is Bobby Kaya. I go to Santa Clara University, and I'm an accounting major.
I'm Eric Rivera. I go to Providence College in Providence, Rhode Island, and I'm a double major with social work and political science.
My name is Jason Bilger. I go to Oklahoma State University, and I got a double major in sports management and marketing.
Peter DeLuca, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, political science.
How has your first semester college experience been so far?
For me, it was a different adjustment at first, but once I got used to it, I had a really good experience, and I'm excited for next semester.
For me, I went from a small school from a year into obviously like 5,000 freshmen at UCLA. I loved it a lot more girls and everything, so it was a great adjustment.
Yeah, bro.
My school is kind of a nice transition because this is pretty small. And in terms of colleges, mine's pretty small. The only thing that's different for me is I'm kind of nocturnal now because you can do a lot of things at night.
Yeah, I had a good experience too. I'm at Whittier College in Los Angeles. There's a lot of distractions up in LA, a lot to do, but it's a small school. It's a good transition. I got classes and what I needed, and overall I've been doing pretty good this semester.
Transition was good. It just took a while to get used to time management and actually trying to get enough sleep because it's easy to just stay up all day and you can do whatever you want. So you gotta learn to study, party or whatever, so on.
How is it to be away from home and living in the dorms?
Well, in the dorms, it's definitely a lot different from home because when you're at home, you might just have like a sibling, but when you're in a dorm, there's obviously a ton of people there, so it's a lot of people are, especially in my dorm at least, there's a lot of music late and things like that. But other than that, I mean, if you can kind of find a way to, if you really need to study or whatever, I just go to the library, so I get away from all that. But the dorm life is good because I'm rooming with 2 of my friends from Saints, so that helps a lot with, I didn't get stuck with a bad roommate, so that helped me a lot. But
I got stuck with a bad roommate. First off, he's no longer in my room, thankfully, and now I have a new ROTC kid with me, and I'm kind of the loud one of us two. But nobody else on my floor is loud, so I got written out the other day for being loud.
The main difference I found in dorm life is because I have a triple, so I have 2 other roommates. When you're at home and you need like I need quiet time, or you need to start doing your homework, you can't close the door to your room like you do at home. It's open, and so basically I leave my door open so people are coming in and out all the time. And so that's the main difference I found is that there's not a lot of quiet time.
Yeah, I thought it's a pretty easy transition, but definitely can get loud at times with partying, just whatever's going on in the hall. So I'll go to the library whenever I need to do something. And then if I need something back down from home, just a short flight from here to Arizona or to San Diego, I can just go back and forth and see my family. So it was close enough, but then far enough away so I don't have to, hang out too much back home.
I love living in the dorms. I honestly didn't really miss home too much this quarter. But I live in a suite, so I have a single room, but I have 5 suite mates. So that's kind of nice because I can just pull myself up when I need to study. That's definitely an option to consider if you have that option.
Dorm life, I enjoy it. It has its advantages and disadvantages. Obviously the noise and just having to share resources with people, you gotta share the same showers and different things like that. Obviously not at the same time. Kids are gonna think it. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You're on your own. You could order pizza at 2 a.m. just cause. I have a little different experience because my roommate's in a wheelchair, so like accessibility you always have to be aware of, like when you want to go out or just different things like that. My school is mandatory that freshmen have to be in either all male or all female dorms. Kind of a downer, but like, I mean, it's all right at the end of the day because you don't want to be around a bunch of girls when they're at night or in the morning. It's not cute. So yeah, that's all.
Transition from like home life to dorm life. I really actually liked dorm life. I didn't really miss home too much. It's kind of cool because you do get to kind of live on your own, even though if you're sharing a room with a roommate. Because if the roommate's gone, then you're literally like living home alone. You can wake up whenever you want. You can eat whenever you want. The only difference is that you're gonna miss home cooked meals when you go to college. Like that's probably the number one thing that I missed. So yeah.
Make sure you get snacks. I really fell on that one. We ate all our snacks in like the first month, and it was hard. Like you get home, you get to your dorm, and I call it home now, and you want to grab some food, and you're just out of food. Just really sad. Lose weight. Don't really like the dorm food, but I like it. My setup's like a little community, so we're all friends on my floor. It's like all boy floor, then all girl floor, then another all boy floor. One of the few schools with more dudes than girls, so it's always a plus. Dorm life, a few distractions, but it's manageable. It's fun.
What kind of class schedule do you have, and how often are your classes?
I took 12 units this semester, or this quarter, because I'm on the quarter system. Had an 8 a.m. class, which was statistics, which I took here, but it was difficult because it's 8 a.m. and then I had a class at 3 and 6, so I got to sleep in for those, but it was manageable.
I had 13 units this semester, 5 classes. I had an 8:30 a.m. class, which I hated waking up for. If you need your parents to wake you up every day for Saints, you probably don't want a class that's later than like 10. So that's what I'm going to try to do next semester. But overall, the schedule's pretty easy. You had like 2 classes every day, and they're only like for about an hour and a half, and you were good for the day.
Yeah, unlike these two, my classes were awesome. I started 10:30 on Mondays, 9:30 the rest of the week, and I was done by 1. No, I was done by lunch, by 12. 2-3 classes a day. You get the rest of the day to hang out, do your homework, work out, work if you have a job. They were all schedules good. It's just the time management. Once you're with all the free time, you gotta figure out what you're gonna do.
I took 16 units originally, and I had all 8 a.m.s, and it was pretty rough. I ended up having to drop engineering calculus though, because it was a little over my head, and so I ended up with 12. And it was, I started early, but I was done by about 11:30. So it was really nice because I had the rest of the day to go work out, then start my homework, and then, do whatever else.
I had 12 units this semester, and I had all 8:30, 10:30, all morning classes pretty much. So it's kind of hard having to wake up for that when you're going to bed at like 3:30 a.m. in the morning, and then having to wake up and you're exhausted. But then you have the whole day, like Eric and these guys said, just to go do your homework, go to the gym, just go out in the city and do whatever. So I definitely like that extended period of time in the afternoon versus the morning.
Yeah, my classes were pretty spaced out, so like I would have one class and then I'd have like a 1 or 2 hour break and then another class, and it would go like that throughout the whole day. And that's typically when I do my homework or catch up on the sleep from the night before.
For me, I had classes. My earliest class was at 8, but that was military science. But besides that, I had PT in the morning, so sleep was not an option really, because I'd be up at 5, or if I was lucky, I'd be up at 3 or 4, running and like marching and all that stuff. But besides that, I only took 12 units, so it wasn't that bad.
I took 16 units. I took 16 units this semester, which is kind of a lot. I mean, 6 classes, but I started at noon, 3 days a week on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and like 9:30 Tuesday, Thursday. But I was done by 4 because I had huge breaks in between my classes, which personally I really liked. But
How was managing your time?
Managing time was difficult. I'm trying to walk on, so I had to find out when to work out. And like I said, at 8 a.m. class, and after that class, I mostly spent my time sleeping until my next class. And I was left a lot of stuff till late at night, so I didn't get much sleep at night. So I pretty much failed time management, but I got all my stuff done. So like, solid C.
Let's see, for time management, I actually handled it pretty well. You basically have the whole day to yourself, you kind of think about it, and then you kind of hang out with friends, do homework or workout or whatever. But the thing you gotta know is that sometimes there's like a lot of distractions, like people can come over all the time, like ask to hang out, ask you want to go to dinner or stuff like that. And then you'll start to lose a lot of time, so like when you're in college, you gotta learn to sometimes say no to stuff so you can get your homework done and study stuff. But for the most part, time management is pretty solid.
Yeah, I would say the first month and a half of school, you're just like, I'm on my own, I'm gonna do whatever I want, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, towards the end of the semester, you definitely crack down, you figure it out. For me, I had to get a job on campus, so that was another thing I had to work into my schedule. You do your class, go to work, do your homework, hang out if you finish early, or you hang out in between, whatever. Basically, try to have a schedule. That's the easiest thing I could say. Try to figure out when you're gonna do everything.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Eric. He hit it on the head. About the first month and a half, it's a struggle getting used to being able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, and so that took me a while to get used to. But once I got used to it, I just had everything written out and do this from this time to this time, and that really helped me out. And kind of just having daily habits that you do will really help you out.
Yeah, at the beginning, time management was pretty terrible for me. Just with everything going on, with school and then extracurriculars, just wanting to go and do stuff on your own, new city, new experiences, new friends. It's definitely hard to manage, but like these guys said, after about a month and a half, 2 months, you start to really realize and get used to it. So you buckle down, and I mean, school's the most important thing while you're out in college. So definitely gotta get your studies in around all your other stuff. So gotta make time for that.
Yeah, I'd say the whole first semester was bad time management. It's just that it just got a little bit better towards the end. Like in the beginning, it was easy to just be like, oh, I'm 5 minutes late, can't go to class. But towards the end, that's when I started to realize like I gotta start going to class. So I made it to every class, but it's like Eric said, make a schedule. Like do stuff, because if not, you're gonna be hanging out with people till like 4 in the morning, and then you have an 8 a.m. the next day, but you don't really care. So have a schedule. I mean, try to get sleep on time. That never works for me.
For me, the time management part, all my studies and stuff wasn't really that big a deal, because I always had like a commanding officer breathing down my back about it. But sleep management was a big thing, kind of like what half the guys said. Sleep management, sleep a lot.
What is the social scene like, and what cultural differences have you noticed?
Well, Berkeley is like the stereotypical liberal capital of the world. So it's a little bit different up there, but it's good. People are pretty lively. You'll definitely meet, wherever you go, you're probably gonna meet, a bunch of different kinds of people. So, just try to keep an open mind when you go into school, because not, not everywhere's gonna be like San Diego or Saints or anything like that. So just be ready to meet a lot of different people, from both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, for me, my dorm is kind of loud, if you will. So you can kind of, I don't know. It's. I don't want to get into too much detail, but in terms of diversity and things like that, at Gonzaga, it's not as diverse as I probably would have liked, but because a lot of people in the Great Northwest are pretty white, so they do have like certain dorms that are for like exchange students and things like that. So I've seen a little bit of it, but it's really not too much for me. I don't go to a big state school, so it's probably not as diverse as some of these guys' campuses, but.
My school isn't really that diverse. It's like you have like, obviously, I'm not trying to play the race card or anything, but you have the white, and then you have a lot of like Chinese that have a lot of money. So I guess it's kind of nice to make friends with them, but some are annoying. And then social-wise, definitely if you have like Greek life in your college, definitely hit them up. I rushed, and I'm in a frat, Sigma Alpha Epsilon, and we're like one of the top ones on campus. And you meet so many people. So I'd recommend that to you.
My school is extremely diverse, I feel. Like just down the hall, we have a kid from Russia, St. Petersburg, and then there's another. There's like they're from all over the world. Not like a lot from every country, but every once in a while you get somebody from a weird place. Socially, I'd say I think LMU is like top 10. I think for like friendliest people. So that's I ain't gonna lie though. It's like it's true. So like. What I found, yeah, just throwing that out. I didn't rush because I'm not the frat type, if you know me. So I just found some friends, and we have a pretty solid group, and it's fun to hang out with them all the time, and I love them, and I miss them.
My school's pretty diverse. There's no majority race there. It's pretty equal with every race, and that's why that's a big decision on me wanting to go there, is I want that diversity. And socially, it's been pretty fun. You just gotta know the right people, where the parties are, and it's not too hard to find a good time, And if you can't find something on campus or in the neighborhood, there's always somewhere in the city. You can just get some friends and go. So you won't have any problem socially getting around.
So, anyways, the social life at my school is pretty good. Everyone's real nice and friendly, and usually like Wednesday, Friday, Saturday night, everyone goes out and has a good time. And I mean, you're gonna meet new people pretty much every day. There's always events going on, big dodgeball tournaments at midnight. I mean, you name it, it's happening. So as long as you get involved, you're gonna just meet new people every day. And I mean, you're gonna meet people from all over. There's kids in India and some of my business classes, and from Minnesota. I mean, all over. It's a real neat experience.
My school is in like the middle of New England. There's not much diversity. I'd say my school, last time I heard, was like 88% white. I don't know, it's kind of known on campus that like minorities kind of stick to themselves. So it's definitely different than a lot of these kids are saying. There's a lot of diversity and stuff. I've had a different experience. Just being on the other side of the country, you have to deal with a lot of differences. Like they think Mexican food is Chipotle. Social scene is very preppy. Kids kind of come from wealthy families, so they can do whatever they want, whenever they want. So that was a big adjustment for me, just because I'm used to living in San Diego, which is a very diverse city. And there's not a lot of Californians, so if I say I'm from California, I'm like a gem. I don't know. It's different. So
You surf?
yeah. That's the biggest question. Do you surf? I know.
Let's see, like I'm with Eric on this, like diversity in Oklahoma, especially the Midwest, it's non-existent. It's basically white. And like for a social scene, in Stillwater, Oklahoma, it's a big, it's a big school, but a really small city. So there's like, I think one club, and it's a country club. So it's a country club. So they'll have like line dancing. They'll have like a bowl in the back you can rope. It's so like it's definitely nothing I was used to in California. And then like But for diversity, I go to big schools, so sometimes I'll see people from like Iraq, some people from India, some people from England. But you know, it's mostly like, you know, white country, and like the most people was like from Texas. So like in Midwest, I mean, it's mostly gonna be white, and you're probably gonna have to deal with country dancing and Tex-Mex food.
I really like the social scene at my school. I had the privilege of being put in like the social dorm. So I met a lot of people. Most of the kids at Cal Poly are from California. So a lot of NorCal kids, like a lot of diverse words, hella, dope, based, like just words that like I can't say here because I'll be made fun of. It's a lot of fun. A few kids from Saints went there like in previous years, so I had some hookups to the frats, got to check it out. We don't get to rush till this quarter, but I don't think I'm rushed. I'm gonna try to play football, so that should be fun. Get some social life there. So, cool.
What has your religious experience been like in college?
I'll start with that. My roommate, I came in with one of my friends as a roommate who is from San Francisco, and my other roommate, he's from Westview, and we didn't know him, and he went to church a lot. So I went with him a few times, and it kept me good, and a few kids on my floor were in a crew. So I went to like 1 or 2 meetings, just got to stay freshened up, so it's good. And I had a test on St. Augustine, and I got 100%. So it's good.
Let's see, for religion, in the Midwest, they take church really seriously because most of them are Christian, and they go to church on Sunday every time. It's like almost like a social thing. Like you ask people what they're doing on Sunday, they'll say, I'm going to church. And then and they'll see like all types of crazy stuff. Like I've seen people carry crosses all around campus. I've seen a guy set up a speaker and just start preaching like on the library lawn. So like there's definitely diverse. I haven't gone to mass ever since I've been in college. It's pretty kind of bad, but it's kind of like, you know, if you're comfortable with it, there's definitely a church somewhere around. And if you're not, then that's cool too. I mean, people won't really give you a hard time for it.
I go to a Catholic school. We're the Providence College Friars. Our mascot is a friar. I had 2 teachers that were priests. So the religious aspect is definitely there. I feel like maybe at my school at least, like they didn't push religion on you as much. My roommate went to church a couple times. I didn't go really, but I don't know. I should have more, I guess. I think we could all say that.
Yeah.
Say that.
So, if it's definitely there at the Catholic schools. If you need your mass every Sunday, it's pretty cool. Sunday night mass, you get food and stuff afterwards. So that's awesome. Yeah, Catholic school's different than these public schools.
Yeah, I go to a Catholic school too, and embarrassingly, I did not go to church until the week before finals. I said my prayers. But I mean, I guess at least I went. It was good though, because even if you're not particularly religious, it's kind of a good time to just relax, think about the week, and make sure you got your priorities straight. I would recommend going because I kind of realized I was missing out on that. But I mean, it just depends on you.
For religion, really, I mean, I go to a private school, but it's not religiously affiliated, so they don't push anything on you, but they're really open to diversity, and everyone talks about it. There's not a problem with it. You can be Muslim, Catholic, Jew, it doesn't really matter, and so you can pursue that if you want. That's up to you. But if you don't want to pursue religion, then you don't have to. So I thought it's been really welcoming.
I go to Jesuit school, so we have religion classes that we have to take. There's a nativity scene out. We got a big church. My friend sang in choir, so that was kind of my motivation to go to church. But I didn't go more than I went, so that's that.
I didn't go to church at all. That church wasn't really me even here, but it's definitely there at UCLA. they have like this thing called Bruin Walk where people hand out flyers like come join the choir or come to church here, come join like this religious group and everything like that. So if you want it, it's definitely there.
Like Irish, I go to a Jesuit school, but what I like about it is there's a lot of opportunities to get involved with religion, whether it's you want to sing in a choir or you want to just go to mass, or they have things like retreats that are always offered, and they have a lot of opportunities for you to get involved, but they're not really like down your throat about it. I mean, you're an adult, you can do whatever you want, make your own decisions. So, but I like church because I don't know if the guys that go to Catholic schools are the same way, but they have like student masses that are only for students, which I really like because the priests will relate to you a lot more than they would if you were at just like a general mass. So there's a lot of opportunities, which I really like.
What is something you wish you knew before applying to college, and was there something you could have done better to prepare?
It's a tough question. Like for the application process or for college itself?
Either way.
Alright, I
Take that
guess
as
as
you
far as
will.
the application process goes then, I didn't realize that schools all wanted supplements and some of them wanted like 4 supplements. And so first semester was kind of just awful because of that. So like supplemental lists for the apps.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you can like get anything done over the summer, or like if you can get some kind of schedule going over the course of the semester, even though it's long term and kind of hard to do, and like get things done before you need to get them done, it'll save you a lot of stress at the end, especially with like parents and stuff to do. So that's one thing that I guess looking back would have been really helpful, is just trying to be a little more disciplined about getting stuff done on time.
I think I wish that I would have put in more effort to my AP test so that I could have gotten credit, because when you register for classes, it helps all the credits you can get help, because I don't even go to a big state school, and it was hard for me to get some of the classes I needed. So if as many credits as you can gather, whether it's through AP tests or maybe take a summer class before, or somehow get some credits, I would definitely recommend that because it'll help a lot with registration.
Yeah, same as Nick, just make those AP classes count because it ends up helping you can take easier classes when you're in college, and that makes things easier.
Yeah, same advice here.
I would recommend, I think that going in undeclared, if you have a general idea what you want to do, obviously apply for that school, but then go undeclared because you can kind of feel out what in that field you want to go into, rather than setting your mind on something and then realizing it really sucks and you don't want to do it anymore. And give yourself an easy first quarter or first semester worth of classes, because if you give yourself hard classes, it really doesn't mix well with meeting all new people and time management and everything.
Yeah, definitely what everyone just said. Personally, I feel like I could have pushed myself with like the schools I applied to a little more, because like hearing some of the stories of where certain people got in and stuff like that, I feel like I could have done fine. And like just the how I've competed at my school, I feel like I could do better. But I'm happy where I am, and like you're gonna love your school hopefully. Very few like horror stories, people hate it and they want to transfer, but definitely take your AP classes seriously, and just be ready for the differences that come from the all-guys school experience and just being in San Diego.
I'd say get your stuff together like right now if you can. Like even when you are in college, like you gotta get your stuff together for like meal plan, for your classes registering for next semester. And also, like, you kind of have to learn to mature and be an adult, because in college you're going to realize that, you know, some people are just here to party and hang out. And while you can't do that in college, you got to realize that you're also there for school, and that, you know, it's someone's money being used for you to go to school, and you got to make the most of it.
I'd like to retweet what Bobby said.
What was the most helpful class you took at Saints?
I'll start with that one. Probably, actually, like just for this semester, actually religion, because I was kind of low in my history class, and they gave me a test on St. Augustine and Thomas Aquinas, and it really boosted up my grades, so that one helped me a lot. So.
I'd say for lectures, I don't think any class can compare more than Vignal's classes, because I mean, Vignal, his classes are real lectures that you'll find a lot in colleges, and then in some cases his class was even harder than like some of the lecture style that my college took. So you'll definitely be prepared by taking a lot of notes in the lectures.
The religion classes definitely help if you go to a religious school because you have a background in all the information you're being taught rather than some of the kids who come in from public schools. Your AP classes definitely help. I'd say Daddy's class helped a lot just because like probably 9 out of 10 students procrastinate on parents and do it the night before. And there's a lot of that in college, especially if your time management is off. So Daddy does a good job with parents.
Yeah, I'd have to say AP English because learn how to write a good thesis statement and structure a good essay. And when you're writing papers almost every week, that definitely helps when you know how to write a paper because a lot of kids in my class didn't know and their grades showed that. And obviously religion with Mr. Bignall all 3 years was huge because even in history class, not even a religious affiliated class, there was tests on St. Augustine and you know, Christianity entering the Roman Empire, and being able to just know that with a snap of a finger really helped huge and showed in my final grade of the class.
Yeah, I'd say I did Mr. Bignall's classes. I know for his honors philosophy class I took that year, and that really helped when I took philosophy this semester in college. And just like Jason said, the lecture style that he does and the notes that you have to take, it really prepares you for college classes, which I thought were easier than some of the classes here from Mr. Bignall, which actually helped because it made you more prepared.
For me, it was Mrs. Arns and Mr. Heck's English classes. Obviously, Mrs. Arns freshman year and sophomore year with Mr. Heck, because they taught me organization skills right off the bat because I was slacking in Mrs. Arns' class, and then she kind of like cracked the whip, I guess, and now organization skills, I'm set. Like I don't freak out about anything.
My history class this past semester was the exact same style as APUSH. Like my teacher taught us with a PowerPoint presentation and gave us a couple of tests and a final, and so that class was like, APUSH was the first like AP class that I took here, and that kind of helped me a lot. And like they said, Mr. Bingo's class, and definitely Mr. Heck's class too, because Mr. Heck makes you read a lot, which is what you basically all your homework in college is just like read page 1 through 40. Like you think it's gonna be easy, oh I can read, but it's like a lot of reading, which is what Mr. Heck assigns. So.
I guess for me, I'd have to say, well, would have been Copy's class, but you know, he's not here anymore. So Juan Morato's evening class was probably the most helpful for me, just because he has a really regular workload, and that's kind of how it ends up working out in a lot of classes. You have like 2 papers and like a midterm or something, so you have like this really kind of regular thing you can prepare for. So between like parents and the reader responses, if you can get into like, if you can figure out how to work that into a rhythm that works for you, then you can just apply that to any class you take in college.
Are there any final comments or pieces of advice you would like to make?
I guess just for me, like when you guys are choosing where to go, you know, if you can tour a school, that's a good thing. If you can like talk to students there and really ask a lot of questions that are, you know, you won't find on a brochure, like things just about how you're gonna live up there, then that will kind of ease your transition in when you go there in the fall, because you won't be figuring out, you know, how things work and how you know, how it's different living from, you know, living there than at home. So if you can kind of ask more, you know, kind of, I guess what I'm saying is try to find a place that feels right to you, that you actually want to live there for 4 years of your life, rather than just say, hey, this place is kind of cool, it looks kind of cool, maybe I want to be here, and then you're there after a month, and you know, like the honeymoon phase wears off, and then you're not enchanted with it anymore.
Honestly, go to class. Like, there's so many times where I've gotten up in the morning and not wanted to do it, but if you go to class and pay attention, you'll get a C. You'll pass the class. So don't fall into that. Oh, it's early. I don't want to go. No, I don't have to. I can miss X amount of classes. Just go to class. That's the biggest thing.
I got two little quick things. Meet as many people as possible. Don't be afraid to extend a hand, introduce yourself, because I mean the biggest thing they're gonna do is say, "Wow, you're kind of weird," and that's about it. And then also from the since I'm kind of like ROTC, like military wise, if any of you guys have like an interest in doing any kind of military, just go talk to the cadre, which are like all the commanding officers and like the NCOs. I mean, probably don't know what that is, but if you go and talk to the head people of Army, Navy, Air Force, and like Marines and everything, you might find it interesting. It's really not that hard besides waking up. They'll get you in shape real quick, and you might like it.
In college, you have to take a certain amount of core classes, which is like math, English, and history, and then you have classes that are like dedicated to your major. One thing my friend did that I thought was pretty sick, that I wish I could have done, is he came in undeclared, but he knew exactly what major he wanted. And so he came in undeclared, he took 6 core classes this semester, he's taking another 6 next semester, and he's all done with his core classes for all of college. So sophomore through senior year, he's just gonna take classes that are dedicated to his major, so that's a pretty good like little secret to know.
Really, I just say enjoy your time now with your family and friends, because some of the guys in your class right now you might not ever see again, or not see again until your 10-year reunion. So, you know, you're going on 18, most of you are probably 18 already. Just enjoy these last few months that you have really as an adolescent before you have to go out in the world by yourself. These are really great times right here, so just don't take them for granted. And you'll see next year when you come back home how much your parents really did for you, and you really appreciate it more. So that's what I'd say.
I mean, you're gonna meet a bunch of new people, but don't be afraid to stay in touch with your old friends that are off elsewhere. Just a short little text here and there or something, let them know how you're doing and ask how they're doing. It means a lot, and then when you come back home, you're gonna see everyone, and it's gonna be just like old times, so that's real special. You don't wanna lose that. And also stay active, even if it's just running on the treadmill for 10 minutes a day. Just do something to keep the freshman 15 up.
I have 2 things. I'll say, like in this upcoming semester, don't get discouraged. Like, say you don't get into that top school that you wanted, you didn't get money from this school, blah blah blah. That happened to me. No, you just gotta come to terms and like realize that everything's gonna happen for a reason. I enjoy where I am now, and I'm happy that it all worked out this way. So just remember that God's got a plan. And once you do get on campus, like don't sit in your room. Like be involved, join clubs, do intramurals. Just spend time with your friends. I mean, obviously your school's important, but it's important just like be known on campus. It's gonna help you once you need connections and stuff.
I'd say before you go to college, pick the school that you want to go to. Don't let anyone say that you have to go to this specific school, you know, for like academics or whatever. You know, pick the one that you're most comfortable with, because at the end of the day, you want to go to this place for at least 4 years. And so you want to make sure that you're comfortable with it, and that's going to be the best one for you. And also once you get there, be yourself, because I mean, no matter, you know, what kind of person you are, if you're a jock, nerd, you're socially awkward, whatever, you're going to meet other people that are just like you. So you're going to end up making friends pretty much no matter where you go.
Make sure to have your priorities set straight. Like if you want to be a frat star, go be the best frat star you can. But just make sure school is at least 1 or 2 on your list, because and ultimately that's what you go to school for. That's why you're up there. So just know like this is the building block for your career and the rest of your life. Like this is where you get internships, where you get your job. So just make sure you make the most out of your opportunities and you know what you're doing.